All right, so we heard Eknath Shinde boasting about his confidence in his government, and they spoke about a lot of welfare schemes, especially the Ladki Bahin Yojana. In fact, their recent rally were also a clear sign that the kind of participation we could have from the women voter. Piyush, you would have heard what Mr. Shinde also mentioned about these welfare schemes, especially like Ladki Bahin Yojana. Do you think this was a game changer?
Only one scheme cannot be the game changer. First and foremost, you have to generate trust in the mind of voters, which the opposition is repeatedly failing to do so. So they have to work hard. So unless and until the opposition brings some radical change in the dynamics, I doubt that they are going to win elections at state levels. Here also we see when there is Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leading the combine, they perform well. Wherever there is Congress is playing a major role against the Bharatiya Janata Party, Congress is contesting on the majority of the seats, or when there is a one-to-one fight between the Congress and the Bharatiya Janata Party, the opposition does not seem to do well. In this particular case, the India Alliance. So I think the opposition's lack of enthusiasm in fighting elections, maybe a little bit of overconfidence, and not being able to resonate with what the voters are thinking. Plus, the Bharatiya Janata Party's Hindutva ideology and the Bharatiya Janata Party's pro-incumbency in this particular case made the voter vote in their favor. So yes, of course, welfare schemes do have their own role. It worked in the state of Madhya Pradesh where it was started by Shivraj Singh Chauhan Ladli Bahin Yojana, and in this case the Ladki Bahina Yojana, which was the replica of the Madhya Pradesh schemes. So yes, revdi culture does work in this country, and ultimately it's time that we stop calling it as a revdi culture and maybe revise it to public welfare schemes, because it's the money of the people going back to the people. I know I'm talking on a on your channel, so it may not resonate very well. But yes, you need to cut down on corruption and you need to give the money of the people back to the people. Check your finances. Just check your budgets as well while doing this. Make sure that your budget is of revenue surplus and everything will be hunky dory. But that's how the governments need to work. But the BJP seems to have done well in this particular case. This scheme, Eknath Shinde's chief ministerial tenure, and the Hindutva Batenge to Katenge and versus Gaddar. So the Batenge to Katenge did win this time, and the Gaddar philosophy, which was there in the Lok Sabha election, did not work well this time.
All right. So, okay, absolutely. That's what we've seen, that, the things, the good things which you have done for the people, they would want to reward you for that. But then you did highlight one very important point, Piyush. Of course, welfare scheme, now that's the new version, what you call it. But is that the two factions of the Shiv Sena, of course, which were pitted against each other? And, many call it a decisive battle because of that.
Well, of course, it was a decisive battle. There's no doubt. There's a lot of chaos and confusion in the minds of voters which Sena to vote for where my leader currently is, whether he is with Uddhav Thackeray or whether he is with Eknath Shinde, whether he is with Ajit Dada Pawar or whether he is with Sharad Dada Pawar. So there was a lot of chaos and confusion before the elections were there. But with a mandate such as this, we cannot call it anymore, as a chaos and confusion anymore. We cannot call that the voter was confused. We might have been confused as to who's where. But the voters were very clear cut. It's a resounding mandate for the Mahayuti. So definitely the voter did knew which party to vote for, and they expressed in the same manner. So it's 200 plus seats. It's a thumping majority. So there was no confusion in the minds of voters. We might have been confused. I personally predicted that it's going to be a close call. The difference is not going to be more than 30 or 40 seats at the max, and it was going to be a close call in Jharkhand as well. So Jharkhand, it did turn out to be true, but here it is a clear mandate from the people. They want the continuity. They like the Bharatiya Janata Party brand of politics. They like their hardworking people, and they are a little bit in a state of fatigue when it comes to the same old ideology, the same old dialogues, the same old confusion, the same old paradoxical statements coming from the opposition. So the opposition needs to pull up its stocks, change their dynamics, bring some radical changes in their modus operandi, and then things may start to work for them. But if they continue to work in the same direction, tough times ahead for them.
All right, absolutely. For Jharkhand, it looks like tough for BJP as of now. Maharashtra, they're leading with more than 200 seats. That means they've already crossed the bare minimum required. But Piyush, the way you said about the roles also, what view would you shape for when you talk about Uddhav Thackeray's role? Because he's played a very active role to strengthen the entire party, streamlining the organizational network. But many experts, many political observers, they point out maybe they lacked a robust team.
I spoke on this matter earlier as well. I think it was the MVA should have projected Uddhav Thackeray as the chief ministerial candidate. A direct comparison between the Uddhav Thackeray's regime during COVID and Eknath Shinde, both have been good chief ministers in their own right. So if had that been the case, that Uddhav Thackeray versus Eknath Shinde, then maybe they could have performed a little bit better in this particular scenario. Uddhav Thackeray definitely needs to look into his own party, his own party structure, the grassroots infrastructure. Give him a 10-year, give Aditya Thackeray a 10 years plan to work upon, because right now it is looking difficult for him. But then this is Indian politics. It swings from one election to another. 6 months back, we were singing all different tunes with the Lok Sabha results of Maharashtra. Now it is a Vidhan Sabha result is entirely different. So, Jo Jeeta Wahi Sikandar, maybe another municipality elections and the Shiv Sena UB did as well, and we might be thinking on that. But I think a long-term plan needs to be put in place. 10 years plan, give to Aditya Thackeray to work upon and maintain their core philosophy, and things are going to go well. So one elections is too early to write off any particular political output. So it has to be their performance over 10 years plan, to a 10 years period. But I think Congress needs to worry a lot about what they are doing.
Absolutely. Piyush, what we're gathering is that, as per the BJP spokesperson Praveen Dharakar also, Devendra Fadnavis, he's likely to be the next CM. Do you think that's a clear consensus? It's a clear-cut name which would come out?
Yeah, I personally think so, because the BJP is the single largest party in this particular case. So definitely it is going to be Devendra Fadnavis who's going to be the chief minister. There's no doubt in my mind.
Jharkhand now, what do you think what would have not worked in favor of BJP?
I'm sorry, I did not get you. I'm having a little bit of bandwidth issues
Piyush,
here
I
right
wanted
now.
to
So could you
understand.
please just repeat it?
Yeah, I
Yes.
wanted to understand, discuss more from the Jharkhand political fraternity also. The kind of numbers that we've gathered from Jharkhand are not very encouraging for BJP and NDA so far. Though there is a half day more to go, and the results can vary because it was already a neck to neck between the two parties there. But what do you think has not worked, or there could be some challenges for BJP there?
The biggest challenge for the BJP is that they need to revise their ideology when it comes to the state of Jharkhand, which is basically Adivasi Bahul. So whenever you're talking about a tribal majority state, whenever you're talking about a state with predominant Dalit population, then in that particular case, you need to revise your strategy. You cannot work the strategy of religion. You cannot work on the strategy of immigration there, which has worked for them elsewhere. हेमंत सोरेन played it beautifully that वनवासी भाई का आपने अपमान किया है, जेल में डाला है, और फिर जेल से मुझे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जमानत दी है, छोड़ा है, एंड ये वनवासी के ऊपर अत्याचार करती है भारतीय जनता पार्टी, एंड दैट्स द नैरेटिव he built upon. So the BJP countered very late in the day when they started talking about immigration, and that is also not such a big problem when it comes to the state of Jharkhand. So Himant Biswa Sarma did fail there as far as this thing is concerned. And we have been seeing that the BJP is not doing so well in tribal majority areas. Let it be Madhya Pradesh, they did well in Chhattisgarh, so that was an exception. But whether there is a tribal majority area of Madhya Pradesh, whether it is Jharkhand,
Okay.
so they are facing a little bit of trouble to be more Vanvasi centric, more Adivasi centric, more Mool Nivasi centric. They have to be talking more about Schedule 5 and 6 when it comes to the tribal areas. Their leaders need to be talking to this. They need to be acknowledging the tribal
Sure.
leaders and tribal gods.
All right.
And that's when maybe things will start working for them. They are smarter than I am,
Right.
certainly, the BJP's political affairs committee.
Absolutely, Piyush. Thank you so much for your view, your insights on this.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.